remember seeing this on TV. I was like, why would y'all do this?
Well, again,
I mean, it was they were.
Man, you just a goddamn hater, man.
I'm not hating because
you're like, why would they do this?
But prime
Like,
example though, if I took a kid and showed them Jurassic Park and it would still look good like today, but this looks like shit.
That doesn't make it any less
I didn't
valid.
say it was bad. I said it just looked like crap.
Courtesy of Remus and Kiki Animation, we got the Cosmic One herself, Cosmic Danielle, coming down from the heavens and landing on your body courtesy of a shirt. There'll be more shirts coming, but we have our mainstays. We have the black tee with the white logo. We got the Sidekick 3000, got jerseys, baseball caps, beanies, phone covers, and lots more over there. So go to dtmerch.com and get your stuff today. Go over to doubletoasted.com and subscribe just to support the site if you like to find entertainment here. Maybe you just can't watch every show yourself, but you want to give to the people. You don't want to take from them. But we would like to have you here on the show, with an email, a call, and maybe show your pretty face right here on the Skype. Over at doubletoasted.com, we have an Amazon Pay button. You have an Amazon account. Let's put those together. You put your username in there. You put your password in there. You press send. Oh, what's this tingling on me? Oh, well, that's that fine, toasty goodness pouring all over your body right there. Guaranteed to get you more sex if you become a subscriber.
If you tingling, you should get checked.
Here's the thing, and some of you guys will know this already, but the younger generation, they might have missed some of this, or they don't even think about it. They let it slip their minds, because some of these things I'm going to talk about is way before their time. But looking at Wreck-It Ralph, and possibly Wreck-It Ralph 2, and a few other things, the people say, name one good video game movie. And some people say Wreck-It Ralph. And some people, that don't count. But you know what?
It doesn't.
And I will give you that. But sometimes people say, you know what, I'll take it just because we got nothing else. It's not based on a video game, but it is technically a video game movie. Not based on something, but it is a video game movie that did well. It seems like that is the catch today.
Yeah.
No one can get an actual video game property right. If you're making a cameo, maybe you're cool. If you're influencing something, or you're putting in the laws of video games, tropes and whatnot,
or you're
okay.
about video games.
Or you're about video games, but if you're taking an actual video game title, that don't work. It seems the catch has to be today, just make it in the video game area. And that's what I was going to say. It's not many, but there are 6 movies that I can say right now are video game movies that are actually good, but are not based on actual video games. I'm thinking of some movies that are actually critically acclaimed, and both did well.
Okay.
So, it's not this thing of like I'm nitpicking here and there and cherry picking here and there. No, these are movies that are critically acclaimed and also made a little bit of money. Let's start with number 6. Some of you old heads out there are going to remember this. The Last Starfighter.
It started with a game.
You gonna bust the record!
Will you get out of my ear? Shit.
Whose dad is this?
Where you come from? Joey, you supposed to be in the kitchen right now? The Last Starfighter.
I wasn't really counting this one.
You know what? I will. And if you look at it, I'll let you tell me why, but let me tell you why I did include it.
But it wasn't just any game.
You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur.
We have to talk about a matter of utmost importance. Step into my office.
No,
You're going to Jurassic Park?
Welcome. The reason why I included this is because at the time, this was something that was it was just cool to see anything video game related on the screen, especially if that was the center of the film. In this movie, it's about this teenager who's great at this video game, The Last Starfighter. It looks like it's unassuming. It's in the middle of a diner. Pop a cord in there and play it, stand-up console. But it's actually an alien simulator for a battle out in the deepest reaches of space. And being that it is centered on a video game training this guy to go out there and fight, and we actually see the console in the game, which kind of looks like some of some video games you actually played in the arcade. A lot of people did say that this was not a video game movie based on something, but a video game movie.
Oh, I didn't include it because it's got a great concept, and I like the actor, Robert Preston, but I didn't think it was good.
You know what?
I mean, I thought about it, but I was like, it's one of those classes where everybody likes it, but acknowledges that it's not really good.
Those rose tinted glasses.
Yeah, no, that's the thing with this, man. That's why it's at my number 6.
Okay.
And not my number 1, because at the time, it was, I mean, you got to take it for what it is.
Sure.
At the time, it was a great concept. People liked it. It was riding off the heels of Star Wars, which people liked.
Sure. And it was so many Star Wars rip-offs that had come out that were absolutely terrible. This one was just kind of bad, but not terrible.
No, actually, at the time, this was good. You could still
Right.
you could still go on you can still look at ratings from the time and see that this is a well-received
you're
movie.
right. You're right. It's one of those movies where yes, everybody enjoyed it at the time because it was something different, and then later looking back, like yeah. But to me, the tragedy of this movie is that it does have such a great concept. If they had believed in it, they could have turned this into a real classic, awesome movie that people could watch now and still enjoy.
Again, still people at the time they still like it, and it is considered to be somewhat of a cult classic. But you're gonna have to accept it for its time.
Right. If you saw it then, you still like it.
Yeah.
If you saw it now,
and some people still see it today and they're like, hey man, I'm all about nostalgia. I'm all about old things. I love the 80s, and they know what this is like here.
No. I mean, like if you were somebody new who just saw it for the first time now.
I know some kids who still see it today, and they're like, okay, this is kind of cool. But they'll look at it and be like, again, I know. It's like when we would watch old movies, with rubber monsters and stop animation, stop motion animation. People look at it with that kind of nostalgia because that's again, that's why it's at number 6.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a movie that does not age well with time.
Right.
For you to take it, you have to take it at its time. Because even with it being a Star Wars knockoff, it's still good for that, but it still is a Star Wars knockoff.
Right. No, I understand why you have it on the list. It's just I'm just explaining the reason to you why I didn't have it. I didn't think of it as being on my list.
I got that. No, I got that.
Okay.
And you know what? I mean, even looking at today, you can't, even if you want to like the movie, there are some things that you just cannot let slide.
Right. Come on, yo.
I mean, they got these creatures in here, and I swear to God, even for back at the time, this came out, I believe, in 1984, and at the time, these aliens look like they look like they bought these masks at like those grocery store Halloween masks.
Yeah.
They look bad.
Forget the guns! Running speed!
Look at that rubber just shaking. Rubber all over the place, man. Yeah, and if you look at some of the special effects here, now I will tell you that for the time, they were pretty good for CG effects. Because you look at them right now and you're laughing, but you're talking about 1984, where that was cutting edge. Yeah, you're looking at it now, Martin. This is at the time. Oh yeah, those masks are bad. But again, you're looking at it, and
I know.
You really do have to accept it for the time it came out.
So what you're saying is it's a good movie.
You know what? I think there's something where the concept kind of people really still like.
Okay, I haven't seen this, so I'm gonna check it out.
Moving on to number 5 here. This is one that is actually, it was a critically well-received movie, and it was also, I think, a small commercial success.
Was it from around this time?
Yeah, you want to take a guess what it is?
The Wizard?
No.
I'll say Tron.
No. Good guesses though. War Games.
This computer company is coming out with these amazing new games in a couple of months.
War. Time. All right.
You want to read a comic book? Oh shit! That's just been ringing for like 15 minutes. Oh fuck! This is the movie where Matthew Broderick almost destroyed the world. Little punk ass Matthew Broderick who wanted to play. He was hacking into the system and ended up hacking the government and our thermonuclear warhead system. And the thing about the movie that is significant is that it does count as a video game movie, so much that it's considered to be the only video game movie centered on a text-based video game.
Right.
Those are the games where you actually had to type things out. And we played them when we were younger until one day just every kid wised up and like, this ain't fun.
I hated those games.
Yeah, making me read.
I fucking hated those games. You're like, go do this. I don't understand. I'm like, what's going on? You have to say it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah. Everybody was like, wait a minute, I'm writing a paper right now. Shit, I want to kill something.
No, I saw that movie in the theater when it came out. And I thought it was pretty good.
No, it is. It is. And the reason why it's not higher, because it actually is a good movie. It's considered to be a classic film. And the thing with the movie, the reason why it's not higher for me is because it goes more into hacking.
Yeah.
into a computer system. It ends up being like a government thriller.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like the video game really just is there at the beginning to set up the whole story, but the rest of it is it's a thriller.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's a good thriller too. It's a lighthearted thriller, but it is a thriller nonetheless.
Right. It's lighthearted, but at the same time, we're looking at the end of the world.
Yeah,
during the Cold War. It's like,
yeah. So yuck it up, everybody. The end of the world has never been funnier. All right, let's go ahead and get into our number 4 movie. Anybody want? Now you see what I have over here. Y'all want to take a guess at what that might be?
Scott Pilgrim?
You know what? You're close. The man himself,
Wreck-It
Ralph.
Sure must be nice being the good guy.
Ralph, you are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy.
I don't want to be the bad guy anymore.
Ralph abandoned his game.
Welcome to Game Central Station.
Bad guy coming.
Everything changes now.
You know, this is the movie that we were talking about earlier where we said the big thing about this film, and the reason why I think it works so well is because this is something that, being that it was a family film, we finally saw that we reached that moment where the older generation who now had kids was able to share nostalgia with their kids with video games. It was no longer a disconnect. You know, and that has to do with a lot of the new stuff that they were satirizing with video games today and bringing in the characters. Like we were saying, this is like Roger Rabbit for video games. You're going to be in Wreck-It Ralph. The mouse will not ask you twice. You know, this is something where we were able to come in and see how this movie it's the first of its kind where we're seeing a big company like this at this scale bring video games to the screen. Mario was the only character they couldn't get.
Yeah,
in this
they got
movie.
Bowser, but not Mario.
But not Mario. He got here with that shit. Mario, he's got like mob ties or something. You know? Yeah, you know, it's but it really and again, it's. I wish I could put it higher, but I believe that there are other movies that actually came in and probably did it a little bit better. Not because there were some movies that didn't rely on that gimmick so much.
And I think there's a point in Wreck-It Ralph where it doesn't follow through. I think like it doesn't really commit to its concept, and it kind of falls apart a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the first half of it is all about this.
Yeah.
And the second half is all about, well, we're driving through Candyland.
The number 3 movie that we have here, which I think actually is a movie that is the latest to do it better than anything that we've seen in a while. Jumanji 2.
Yo, what's this?
A 35-year-old man trying to play a high school. What that is?
It's like, you used to have one of those. You don't even front.
Yeah, that's your original one.
Yeah.
A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. Jumanji.
It's funny because in the original Jumanji, it was a board game, and they give no explanation how it became a video game at all. Magic.
Sort of. It was that with the magic, it was like the game said, oh, nobody plays board games anymore. I'll turn it into a video game.
Oh, yeah. I'm not the one questioning it. I did read some people who were just kind of like, man, I really like this movie, but when did it become a video game? I'm like, man, look, it's a...
They're questioning magic.
They magic, yeah. It's a magic board game where psychotic monkeys pop out of it. You know what? Why are you going to question anything after that? I love this right here. Watch this one monkey right here. Like, what the?
Yeah, it's like one of those old cartoons where somebody gets blown up.
Yeah.
They have blackface on. Mommy.
Oh, I love this little monkey right. Bitch, what you looking at? Get the fuck out of here.
Start chucking knives in the second half.
Man, the CG on that monkey's face.
Yeah.
It was. I was like, oh, it's not as bad as I remember until that monkey turned around. Like,
yeah, it was the same crew that worked on Black Panther.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you said same dude, not company. The same guy.
Here's my portfolio. It's just the monkeys in Jumanji.
And
you're hired.
I think, let me see here. Oh, I think we got a picture of the guy who actually worked on that. There he is right there.
Still on that same computer.
Still got the same computer from back then. Yep. Still rendering. But let's see here. Yeah, you know, this is a movie where it was it was great. And y'all can, you guys saw this, so y'all should chime in
multiple
on it.
times.
Yeah, and I like it. I gave the movie a matinee, but I really like this film. It's a surprise hit, and the reason why it works is because, well, they got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it. They got his buddy Kevin Hart in it right now. They got two people who were big box office draws, and it's a sequel to, again, sort of a cult hit. But the thing, though, is that it wasn't a matter of how it became a video game. It's that they did it and it worked well.
Yeah.
They committed to it.
Yeah, they did the opposite of what Wreck-It Ralph did. They committed to it throughout the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
You kept expecting them to kind of drop it, and they never did.
And the cool thing about it is that they don't make it like this one gag about video games after another. No, they just pop in every now and then, again, these little video game tropes to remind you that they are in a video game, and then they move on with this role-playing adventure, which is another thing that's cool about it, because to me, that is role-playing. These people are playing, these kids are playing the opposite in this game of what they really are, at least with their physicalities.
We all have special skills. Weakness, none.
I hate this game. Everybody else got good stuff.
Weakness? Cake.
Yes, cake is my weakness.
And that's the thing. They bring them in, and they would actually make fun of those things too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And, plus they blew up Kevin Hart.
It's all good.
I mean, who hadn't been wanting to do that for a while? But for me, number two, as far as being, now, I did say that these are movies that are good and also were financially successful, but this one was not. In fact, this one bombed right here.
Unfortunately, it's one of those movies, and we have these like Office Space that bombed at the box office and yet went to video and did gangbusters.
And yet, that's why I included, because it did well on home video and got and had this whole newfound audience behind it. Of course, we're talking about Scott Pilgrim.
Sir Pilgrim! I'm Ramona's first evil ex-boyfriend.
What?
We're fighting over Ramona?
Didn't you get my email? Explain.
This right here, I like
a great movie.
It is. I like the way my man over there, he cheated like, yes.
Yeah, outside of being a good video game movie, it's actually one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's in my top 10.
Same here.
Yeah. So really, what about you?
I hate it. I'm not even kidding.
I believe it. Of course you do.
I hate this movie.
Well, you know what? I want to hear your explanation. Let us get this out the way, because I'm gonna let you elaborate. Now, the reason why I think we can all defend this movie is because, listen, this movie, it needs to be defended so much as far as being a video game movie. Again, not based on any video game, but people consider this to be one of the best, if not the best video game movie out there. And the thing about it is, it's not even based on a video game at all. It's based on a comic book.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to be a movie that's based on a comic book that happens to include many other things, such as anime. They even go as far as to put some Looney Tunes stuff in there. I love the cartoonish visual gags they have in there that are, if you've looked at any Bugs Bunny cartoon, you recognize this immediately.
Roxy?
You know this girl?
He really doesn't know.
Wait.
Visual gags like that. That's a Warner Brothers style visual gag right there. But the biggest thing that they did right, people say, for something that's not even a video game movie, even though you had the comic book references, the paneling that was in there, you saw earlier the crash, like wording in comic books. The whole the thing with video game logic, they got right. The whole thing about killing your enemy and getting coins for that.
Sure.
Right.
Earning old school video game logic, like earning an extra man. How many people remember that?
Your hair looks stupid.
Second password.
Give me your change, bitch.
Yeah, and it was other like small little things that they threw in. If you are a gamer, like you'll notice, like they have the Zelda theme is in here. They use he has a P bar, which is like a health bar, and it drains when he's using the bathroom. So yeah, there was a whole bunch of visual flares in here that Edgar Wright crushed when he threw them in here.
Yeah, Martin. I'm surprised to hear that this is one of your favorite movies, that's cool. But why?
Well, it takes things that, like, I'm not big on playing video games, and I like anime, but I don't love it, and I like some indie rock, but I'm not crazy about it. It takes these things that I was just lukewarm on and push them all together in a way that makes me go, wow. I have a whole new appreciation for this. I love the constant pace and the jokes or the dialogue within dialogue. So many just visual things that he's able to feed in between the lines. When I start watching this, there's never a point where I go, okay, here's a lull, I can go to the bathroom. It's just like, if I start, that's the rest of my day. I'm going to finish watching this. And yeah, Chris Evans.
Chris Evans,
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Who else?
Brandon
Brie Larson. Brandon Routh.
Yeah, it's all these superheroes in this one.
No, I think it's an amazing film.
And it has some of the best scene transitions in any movie ever.
It was funny tonight. Our guests came in and they said, "Yeah, Gers, we like you, but you don't like shit, do you?" And Gers was like, "No, I like things."
No, I was just
but
like,
you're not proving it now.
No, I'm not, and I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I just find this movie really obnoxious and grating and annoying to watch. Like that's really it. Like it's a comedy where very few of the jokes worked for me. It was just. I just found it really, the key word is obnoxious, where it's just like, God damn, this movie's just annoying the shit out of me watching it. It just annoys me. It really just bothers me. Like
see, this is it. This is what you're like.
Yeah, like I don't like it. I don't like any of these characters. I don't find any of them funny, and it's an obnoxious movie that feels like it's constantly waving its like keys in your face for attention. At least for me, it just bugs the shit out of me. I remember fucking hate it.
The first time we watched this, and you said this movie was trying to be too cool for its own good, or it thinks it's too cool, or something like that.
Something to that effect.
He's like, his movie was pretentious. What you said.
I feel like it calls attention to itself a lot of the time.
It insists upon itself.
Yeah, and it is. Look, it's one of the most hipsterest movies.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I get it. You're the.
You don't.
No, I don't.
You really don't. No one gets that. I'm not asking you.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, like I gotta. And this is nothing against something. That's why I've never brought it up on the show at all. But
he had this topic where you like, oh no.
Yeah, that's why I was like, shit.
Well, as soon as he saw, I was like, he's gonna bring up Scott Pilgrim, and everyone's gonna know I fucking hate it.
He hosts a video game show on me. I was like, I can't let the secret come out. But yeah, I can't.
Your face needs to be up there with those people trying to beat Scott Pilgrim's ass. Where's Gert?
Dead center.
In fact, he's pushing him out the way. Move! I got first.
Did you date her? No.
I just don't
you gotta fight me. Anyway.
Now you know how I feel with Cuba. But this is let's go to the number one movie. Now, you see this on my end. Can anybody guess what the number one movie is?
I have no clue.
Mortal Kombat.
No. No, Hillary. No.
Tron?
She's back there rooting like, yes.
Tron?
I still don't understand why you want to break into the system.
Because, man, somewhere in one...
Calm your ass down.
Man, you gotta hit me with a pillow. I'm meeting with
because
you.
Because Tony Stark built this in the game.
Wow, how did that guy become the dude?
I don't know. But calm your ass down. Damn, video games are supposed to help you stress, man. Relieve stress. Not go crazy like that. Yes, I am talking about Tron. Tron is the movie where I put this at number one because really when you think about it, I could be wrong, and please, I want people to tell me, because I was trying to rack my brain down, thinking, is there another video game movie out there that is the first? I think this one coming out in 1982 is the first. And I'm going to tell you something, it's not, I don't even think it's a good movie as far as the story. I'll even tell you, when I saw it, I was like around 9. And even then, I was like, this is stupid. You gonna scan a man into a computer like that and bring him in, and there's a bunch of white people living inside every computer.
Motorcycles.
With motorcycles and everything.
I remember when it came out, and I didn't see it right away. I didn't see it when it came in the theater, but I had friends who were raving about it. So I see it 2 years later, and I was kind of like, oh, this is it. It's mixing vector graphics with neon and black light stuff, like it was all the same thing. I was
Yeah.
like, y'all, these are not all the same thing.
No.
This movie was an acid trip.
Yeah, I went home and looked at my Commodore 64 and I was like, it don't look nothing like that. The movie actually made me mad. Yeah. You know, I was breaking my shit open. Where y'all at? Like, where the white people at? trying to pour them out.
But
He knows.
Yeah, they all hide, clinging on.
Holding on to the side.
But the reason why
artistically, it influenced a lot of stuff.
No, it did. And you know, when I say it influenced, but even the things that influence cannot touch this film. Say what you will about the story in here, but there are so many levels with this movie that make it as far as what I consider to be the first actual video game big screen movie. This thing's amazing right here. Say what you will about the effects. That is a style that has never been able to be repeated because
they didn't want to.
No, because nobody can. You know, it's like nobody. It's one of those rare things. It's such a stylistic choice where if you do that, they're gonna say you're ripping off Tron.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing has been able to touch that today. Not even the sequel that they tried to do.
Tron Legacy.
Tron Legacy. Yeah.
Hey, but it had an awesome trailer.
Yeah, it did.
That makes me even.
It had a great
angrier.
score.
And then everybody
Punk,
and everybody was like, oh, and Daft Punk gonna be in the movie. And it was like, so?
I think I've seen the lead actor in that work since then.
Oh, Garrett Hedlund.
Garrett Hedlund. Oh, he's
a lot of stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Mudbound.
He was in Mudbound, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That sorry motherfucker, he ain't done nothing since then. But I love Mudbound.
Hey, man, he was a memorable one.
But you know, this movie here, man, with the look of this, which is everybody still watches this movie today just because it's a joy to watch. You know, for just to look at stylistically, there've been music videos where they've taken it's like that's one of the things that influenced. I think the Killers did a video where it had this style. You know, something that's been parodied and something that's been mimicked but never been able to replicate. A lot of critics were saying at the time that this, if nothing else, is a technical achievement, and it got a lot of good reviews.
I remember watching Tron as a kid, and like this shit looks terrible. They played it on like ABC Family or Disney or something like that, and this was like, I know you're supposed to watch something for the time and when it came out, but I remember seeing this on TV. I was like, why would y'all do this?
Again,
I mean, they were experimenting.
Yeah, it's the first.
But honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, 2 years after it came out, it didn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time it came out, it was like nobody's done this.
And this is the first one to do computer effects of this type. So, damn, you just a goddamn hater, man.
I'm not hating because
you're like, why would they do this?
But prime example though, if I took a kid and showed them Jurassic Park and it would still look good like today, but if I had that same time difference between Tron and when I first watched it, I'd be like, this looks like shit.
That doesn't make it any less
I didn't
valid.
say it was bad. I said it just looked like crap.
Yeah, they did a whole thing where they were painting on the film, all the light up stuff on those guys.
Yeah, no, it
was a new technique they were trying.
Yeah, it's considered to be, I think, one of the first full featured computer animated films at the time, and also one of the things that has never been really replicated either is a score. Like, there's no other movie that really sounds like it. You know, it's,
who did that score?
I don't know, but I don't know who did that score. I should have looked it up, but again, you know, it's a classic score too.
Yeah,
and the other thing with this is that the marketing behind it was also a movie that was kind of meta in its marketing for its time, and it was very clever, being that it was kind of the first video game movie out there of this type, because they put the game out, the console, and the console was kind of the console is based on the movie, which is about the game. So when you go and play it at the arcade, it's almost like they were saying you were actually playing the game in the movie, and you know, and at the time it was like it's an ancient game right now, but at the time it was a hit, like every arcade.
Oh yeah.
You know, let me see how loud this is, because every arcade, you know, you'd be playing and you'd hear that Tron music. And this whole thing of being able to play like 4 games in one, it was man, it was actually a lot going on with this game at the time, and that's why people kind of consider that a classic, and that's why I put it at number 1. It's like something
I seem to remember, like commercially, it didn't do well, but it was just talked about a lot.
Yeah, like I said, you know, it's a movie that kind of broke ground in so many ways, except for the story. Because the story was kind of stupid. But
no matter what you do visually, you just can't make that story work in that game.
No,
within Tron, turn it into a movie.
No, hell no. So please,
I'm disappointed with the lack of actual video game movies. I know you said that was part of the list. I'm joking with you. You look mad as fuck.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I'll be like, hey, well, make a list. No, I made mine, so you can make yours. But like I said, those are the ones that I see.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Silent Hill's decent, somewhat decent.
It's decent. No, it's decent.
It looks good.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can like make a list or put up a poll of video games that are actually based on real video games that are not bad at all.
I don't think you can make 6 though. Yeah. You got like 3 and then we out.
I give you a challenge though. You know, you can either do it on our YouTube page or you can take it over on our site, or you can even make something on Amino over there.
Goodwin showed me House of the Dead recently. Oh my God.
No friend would ever do that to anybody. That is not your friend.
We have a weird friendship.
Yeah.
But man, that was trash.
You got to see Far Cry next.
Oh no!
Oh, Uwe Boll is at it again. And Blood Rain. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, y'all are meant for each other. Ain't nobody else watching that shit.
Uwe Boll is.